Hello and welcome to the lower brackets round one race between Dr. J, PhD, and Ellendar. I am Animus United commentating. Royale with Cheese will be commentating tonight. And I believe Mirai may also be joining us as well for commentary. So without further ado, we should be good to go to get this race started. Our runners have readied up. And they both said they had clean audio today, so we should have both of our runners having good audio today, so we'll switch back and forth between the two. And speaking of Mirai, hello Mirai. Welcome to the commentary booth. Congrats on
no spoilers,
the successful race earlier
no spoilers,
today.
no spoilers, God, no spoilers. People need to watch it back.
That's true. Gotta rewatch the full race.
All right, well, I'm here. Everyone's starting.
Yep, looks like we have a 2-heart container seed with a flute and the reflect spell.
And Dash and Saria, we're on the wrong side of it, though. Kind of, I'm going to say islands. I was about to say vanilla-like, but I'm going to say islands, maybe.
Yeah, that's certainly what it's looking like to me as well. So that could be a potentially early dash spell, which could be helpful for our runners today. Royale with Cheese saying that we have 2 hearts, 2 gems, flute reflect, 4 lives, and no upstab or downstab. So a pretty healthy start. Could be a potential for a pretty quick seed here, depending on where our glove are and of course where our fairy or any key is.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm sorry, I'm still getting situated here. Okay, okay. You know what? I'm going back with vanilla-like.
Yeah, it certainly doesn't look like we have too much water over here. The islands tend to be a lot more segmented than this, and kind of looks like we have a clear north and south here as well. So,
yeah, sorry if I missed the very beginning there. I know you said, I'm sure you said lower bracket. Both of these runners having a loss here, so this is finish it or you're going home, win it or ride or die. I don't know what the saying is.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to be interested to see which of our runners decide to maybe take a little bit of an early risk. Usually in a ride or die game, I like to see whether or not someone's willing to do something a little unconventional rather than the standard path.
Yeah, it's possible. It's possible. We see the candle there in Trophy Cave. Dr. J picking that up as well.
Yeah, certainly if we're forced to go through Death Mountain or such, that's always nice. Or sometimes just having it in some of these eastern caves can be pretty nice as well.
Kind of a dig here for like just going up vertically from start, heading north seems to be our only access at the moment. Just all this swamp and all these caves and little one-tile pathways here. Kind of tight. Just a lot of walking.
Yeah, when you have these vanilla-like biomes that can resemble the mountainous biomes, that can be kind of ugly. And that's kind of what's sort of looking like here is, yeah, we got some water more towards the western side, but this eastern side is very mountainous.
I was concerned that Ellendar is not going to be able to get that bag and is going to take a death on those dyers before the bag, but it was just $50, so no big deal. We're about to see what is in Magic Container Cave here.
Okay, so GP is on the west, and since this is a 2-gem seed and we have the reflect spell already, we potentially, depending on how things work out, there's the glove for Ellendar. So we could potentially have a seed here where we don't even have to leave the western biome at all.
Yeah, that's interesting. Those are, oh man, why do we play these games? They're so complicated. They're so anxiety ridden. It's like, man, you gotta make these decisions. They're so difficult. Races, timers, man, heart rate. Oh my God. And we got a bridge over here by our two palaces.
Ooh, an early Maze Island. That has some potential for some items here.
Yeah, I mean, if we get the key, I mean, we're just gonna go back, do 1-6 GP and be done with this bad boy in, I don't know, 18 minutes or so.
Yeah. But instead, we get the child.
Maybe we can turn in the child for a reward and then, or sell him off into a different market and then buy a key. I know you're not a fan of the child.
Especially not the seed where I'm thinking that we don't even want to see the east at all.
Yeah. Oh, we have another cave here as well. Looks like on the west side of our Maze Island that Ellendar is showing us. So that could lead, that could be a potential connector that goes somewhere interesting.
Yes, I agree, Alan. We should have just left the child. It was just chilling in the cave. It didn't need to be rescued. And yeah, that is P5 on Maze Island, and I'm going to assume that both of our runners are going to attempt to skip that if they possibly can.
It's probably
seem like
probably a good chance of that, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Dr. J into P1. Didn't even pay attention. Oh boy, all kinds of stuff happening.
Yeah, I was having my attention on Ellendar too, and Dr. J's already in P1 and already at the boss. So,
did we see keys in the drop pool here?
I don't think I've seen any so far. There certainly could be though.
So Dr. J's kind of hoping that we're gonna, assuming there weren't any, we're hoping for a key here. Okay, that answers that because he's not going through the door.
Yeah, I do like the play though too, because if the boss drop is a key, then the chances are you might not even have to worry about any key or fairy if things work out.
Speaking of the any key, go ahead.
I was just saying I like that chance / move by Dr. J to try that.
Yeah, speaking of the any key, we got a hint on Ellendar's side there that Karok disappears with the magic key today.
Ooh. Interesting hit.
And with Reflect, I wonder if we'll make possibly a dig into there for that item.
Well, the thing I do like about that hint too is that tells us that our intended logic to enter palaces is the fairy spell. So our fairy spell it may not be in the west, but it should be pretty accessible in the east. And yes, that could mean that Maze Island Child leads to the fairy spell. Or it could just be right here in the west.
Yeah, I think we're just gonna, well, depending on how much it is, it's magic 164 magic at the moment, and west to find the candle. Okay. We might not be able to cast it just yet. And it might be kind of expensive.
Yeah, that's true. Magic 1 is pretty rare for fairy to be castable in Magic 1, so might have to grind up to like Magic 3 or so before we feel comfortable casting fairy.
If we're lucky, you'd have to grind up to Magic 5.
Yeah, those are always the best seeds.
Yeah.
73, that's not terrible. If we can find another magic container that's castable.
Yeah, looking at Ellendar's tracker here, I'm kind of making out. Looks like we've got 3 item caves on the west still left to find. I think it's Medicine, Heart Container, and Pillar P Bag Cave. Oh, we saw a Death Mountain there. Okay.
I think we're going to be avoiding Death Mountain if we can as well, along with that P5.
Yeah, no hammer, even for a quick spec rock check or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, item room.
Kate.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah, Dr. J finds the item room, but it's key locked, so that's unfortunate.
Dr. J likes to do these auto logic digs with no keys in his pocket, and here he is. He's found the boss room. He needs to get through a door to place the gem. He's found the item room. He needs to get through the door to get the item. Then again, it is a pass-through item room. It might actually wrap around, but we know it's not going to be the magic key. It could, I guess, be a small key, which would help him get through Horsehead's room. This is totally auto logic, though, so.
Yeah. I think honestly the best case scenario for him is that it ends up being a magic container, because that would allow him to be able to cast Fairy as soon as he gets the Fairy spell. But he's already at Magic 3 too, so it might already be castable for him if he chooses to go to that town.
Ellendar's get a little beat up here by these Dyras. We had a red Dyra in front. He took a death to that. He took a death to the orange one, gets through it here, gets a life level, and hopefully doesn't game over to this Mew. I doubt it. I think, okay, Dr. J just up and A'd out of P1, and he didn't, okay, all right, I don't know. He's, we know that Maze Island is right next to those palaces, and that is where we need to go for the boots here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. That's right, because the fairy spell was boots locked, wasn't it?
Yeah. Or unless Bagoo is sitting up here somewhere that Ellendar didn't see, it's possible that that'll be the way to across Sari as well.
That's right.
Although it looks like Dr. J has actually found almost like this is a horseshoe type of biome to where he's on the top side. He's coming down the left side. He's right here where Ellendar was by Heart Container. Or though, wait, it's boots locked still because there's a little bit of water to the west of Medicine Cave. Wow. I think his boots locked either way.
Yeah. I think you're right.
That's good old vanilla like. Good old randomizer. Love this game and its biomes.
And that's the thing. We were talking about the way that this seed could possibly set up where, you could potentially not leave the west at all to just clear the entire game. And the game just did that one little thing where it just puts that water there where you're going to have to go to Maze Island and get out of the west to complete the game.
Yeah, unfortunate for Dr. J, he was right there by that bridge and then up an A and back to start, walk around the long way to Death Mountain. And then, funny enough, there was that cave on Maze Island. It would be funny if Dr. J finds his way to Maze Island through that cave that potentially goes to Death Mountain instead of the east. But then again, I don't know how we would reach the east at this point. Or maybe there's an east connector in Death Mountain. There's possibilities.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ellendar is kind of covering the tracks where Dr. J was missing that one final cave, a Pillar P-Bag cave. I don't know if we've got a hammer-blocked cave somewhere.
Yeah, we potentially could. I'm not sure if we've seen the entire biome yet as well. There is one right there, so that could be it.
Yeah, I almost wonder if this is a pass-through. We saw so many pass-throughs going north and south on this side.
Yeah, we did. We've seen Jump Cave, and we've seen a Parappa Cave for sure.
All right, so Dr. J following in the footsteps of Ellendar. Unfortunately, without the boots, though, he's likely, we think he's going to be locked out here, not going to be able to go south to Raru to get Fairy.
Yeah, I'm curious when Ellendar is maybe going to even just attempt to look around inside of a palace. We did see those drippers inside the palace that with the blue iron knuckles being in the dripper, so that could be a really good way to grind up some XP to be able to level up the magic.
That's true. I didn't see how much. Did you see how much they were worth? I think they might have been worth 150.
Yeah, that's why I saw 150.
Okay.
But well, there is a Maze Island hit, but we don't know for what item it's for.
Well, I guess it would have to be the boots because the child spell item would be in Darunia.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. So yeah, that's the boot scent.
All right, so Dr. J, like that early P1 dig, that's huge gamble. I don't know. I mean, he could have placed a gem, just to be fair, but it's like Ellendar is showing us that all this very easy to reach progression is right here. If you would have just kind of done it in the overworld, Dr. J would have been a whole lot closer in terms of just like progression right now. Dr. J would probably have already been done with Maze Island, had his boots, been doing the same thing Ellendar is doing right now. But now he's kind of following in the footsteps. We'll see if he goes to Death Mountain or if he makes his way to Maze Island. We know he probably needs to go to Maze Island.
Yeah, I think I agree with you 100%. Ellendar took the more conventional approach to this, just kind of following the logic, and has been rewarded greatly here. So, with Fairy being castable now, I think we're going to see him make some quick work of these palaces. Even though, because I saw him cast Fairy to get downstab. So
that's true. That's true.
So it has to be castable for at least one at this point. So I'm just going to, even though you'd like a fifth magic container, I'm just going to assume at this point that Ellendar is just going to kind of cruise through these palaces and try to see if we can get away from not needing a magic container or the thunder spell.
Yeah, it's possible. I mean, I don't know how anyone, you might not feel comfortable going into GP without the Thunder Spell, though. I don't know. I mean, it's right here, though. It's like P1, P6 into GP, do the checks, hurry it up, and if you see Thunder's required, get out of there and find your way to the east.
Yeah, I agree 100% with that. In this scenario like this, I just wouldn't want to go out my way looking for Thunder. When you got everything right here in the west and you don't even know where the east is.
Yeah,
that's why I say that.
Upstab as well could be a thing.
Yeah, certainly.
I'm hoping it is. I'm hoping we see a little bit of troll here, because this is turning out to be potential jet at the moment. It's going to be one place in the gem here for Ellendar at 1540, and like you said, he might not look for the item. He might just go into 6. Or I guess that could be 3. We don't know if it's actually 6. It's 3 or 6 right next door.
Yeah, that's right.
That would be even better for him if it was okay. No item. We're going into this palace.
Yeah, I like this. The low percentage of play by Ellendar here. Let's just see what the situation is before we dig any further.
Oh, it wasn't one that Dr. J saw the item. I think it's just right up here, because this is where Dr. J was doing the dripper thing. Okay.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, so we don't know what the item room in 1 looked like, I don't think.
There's the boots for Dr. J, so he's going to be able to explore the west now.
Yeah, he's just missing one. Everyone seems to be missing Pillar P Bag Cave. I'm going to go ahead and say that it is probably going to be that hammer block cave that we saw.
I stand corrected. Dr. J is going into P5.
Oh. And no fairy and still no keys.
There is a key that is glove block. I believe you might need the jump spell for that particular one. I know you can get it without upstab, but I believe you need the jump spell. Am I correct on that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ellendar, unable to get these drippers to drip, going to be trying to take care of these bubbles. But the funny thing is, I'm pretty sure these bubbles just respawn in the same room if you just walk too far. So even though he might clear them out here, or he will clear them out, they might actually respawn if he walks around a little bit too much around these drippers.
Yeah, you're 100% right.
They are eating through you're only allowed to spawn, I think it's 5 things on the screen, like in terms of enemies. And so the bubbles and MOAs and stuff like that in these dripper rooms eat up those slots, and you're trying. Oh man, all that work to just take a death, and he's got to do it again if he wants it.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because I believe those bubbles respawn too. So
yeah. Okay, yeah. So yeah, to finish that explanation about how there's only so many sprite slots for the Nintendo to be able to spit things out. It's that the MOAs and the bubbles, when you run into these dripper rooms, they take up those spots, and it stops the blue drips from actually spawning the things that they're supposed to be spawning.
Well, we do have Guma on Dr. J's side, so wasn't the worst P5 in the world, but it was a few rooms in there, it looked like to me.
Yeah, until he gets a magic key, which we know is not in these palaces for him, it's 4 that we haven't seen yet, and we haven't seen 4, right?
No, that's in the east, it looks like.
Yeah, or he needs to take those boots to go get the fairy spell. This is because even if he takes out Guma here now, he's still going to have to walk all the way back to the pedestal with the proper logic to get through the door.
Mm-hmm. And we haven't seen key drops yet either, so that would be my other thing right now, is hoping for that. But since, to me, we've gone through a good chunk of enemies at this point, even if there are key drops, they certainly aren't very common at the very least.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen any, and like you said, there doesn't have to be anything in the drop pool in terms of keys here.
Mm-hmm.
For anyone who's new and not familiar with the randomizer, it's the logic it wants you to have. Can we keep talking about logic? Maybe we should talk about it itself here. It's the randomizer wants you to have either the magic key or the fairy spell before you ever take a step into a palace. If you get keys out of the drop pool, and it's random if you do, it's just simply a bonus. That's all that it is. It's not a means of logic for you to. The randomizer is not giving you keys so that you can do it logically. You can go in if you want. If you've got a bunch of keys that are on a key ring somewhere and you just burn in a hole in your pocket, go for it. But magic key or fairy spell required for logic.
Yes, absolutely, 100%. And that's also because the rando just doesn't account for how many key doors are within these rooms that are randomly generated. And we see that is a P bag that Dr. J saw earlier. And this is P6 as well, we see with the windows. So, but anyways, as Mariah was saying, the drops that we see that are random here are not accounted for in logic. So, in the vanilla game, the large enemy sets have the red jars and the 200-point P bags as your 2 drops. The small enemies have 50-point P bags and your blue jars. But here, under these settings, we can have 1-ups, red, blue jars, P bags from, I believe it's 20 to 1,000-point P bags with our random P bags. And we also have small keys as a potential. There's a few other things as well, but it's always a good idea just to see what drops as well as these boss enemy drops as well. Usually they're small key, but today for every boss, it's going to drop a 50-point P bag.
I was a little concerned for Ellendar here. He's trying to get that level. He's really unable to get through where he was stuck beyond the item room. There's a bunch of tough enemies. In Palaces 3, 4, and 6 is going to be a particular enemy set in that palace pool, and Doom Knockers are one of those enemies. And so he's running into a lot of Doom Knockers here that are beating him up, and I was concerned that he wasn't going to be able to get that level after trying to get through that direction. And instead of going right, now he's going to check to the left, which is possible that Barb is over here.
Yeah, and something else to mention about this black set as well is that boss rooms exit to more palace, as we're seeing on Dr. J's side. So normally in the vanilla game, whenever you beat a boss, you just exit out of the palace and that's that. But under these settings, the boss rooms are going to exit to more palace. So that potentially means that our bosses are actually going to be a little bit more quicker into the palace as opposed to further into the palace. And that also means that bosses can be blocking items too. So that's especially important for P4 situation if you didn't have the reflect spell.
Yeah, so we were talking about keys in the drop pool. Dr. J must have found one somewhere because he got through and placed that gem on Guma.
Yeah. That was now we're all leveled up on gems here, so that was a pretty big find for him.
Wow, there are a lot of doors in this P6, and Ellendar is being forced to take these deaths to just refill his magic. And I hope he recognizes this room. You can ferry over this door, and this is the only room that looks like this from the right-hand side. There's a few of them with a statue at the base of the elevator. You can get a 50-50 jar out of that statue. Hopefully he'll come back down, because if he finds the boss, he can't get through unless he's got a key. But he doesn't recognize the room, so...
I think he has one more life. Blue Iron Knuckles and P5 are 300 each. Royal is telling us. And here is Barba.
All right, attack 3 Barba. This will be if second gem placed. If Ellendar can get it, takes the death. Did he? I looked away for a moment. Did Barba breathe fire?
I think he might have. It didn't look like it to me. I think he was just falling down because you're going to have to reset your magic anyway to get through the door.
Well, here's the thing, because I would have probably given him the first attempt even on low health, simply because if he dies now, it's a game over. Whereas if he would have died the last time, he would have still had one more chance. Now this is it.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Dr. J doing a little fighting here. This scorpion's shooting fire from the backside. Yeah, Dr. J likes to hold on to his experience. He's very thorough. He walks out of palaces. He will hold on to a lot of experience just to keep it and make sure that he levels. Wow. So if Dr. J had dug into Death Mountain over on the west, the kind of the west-northwest side of the Western continent, he would have found potentially that cave that led him to Maze Island anyway, it looks like.
Wow. That is interesting. So it could be that Death Mountain is our connector for everything today. That is interesting, and that is an unfortunate death for Ellendar, because especially with how much that he was having to cast Fairy to get back to Barba is going to be a little bit of an annoyance.
Yeah, this is rough. Concerned about being Jetty, but at this point, I was given, Ellendar's in a better position just logically with the Fairy spell, whereas Dr. J's just kind of been doing YOLO into these palaces, and he's out now. But if he had tried to get another key somewhere, it's possible he would have been able to do P1 and then jump into GP, and that might have been it for Ellendar, as he's messing around here in this P6, which is again pretty rough with all these deaths, or with all the forced deaths for the Fairy casts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's the thing about these fairy seeds that you can get. If you come across a palace that just has a lot of key doors like P6 has, it can be a really big annoyance. Luckily, though, we do have, I believe it's 4 lives today, so luckily it's not like a 2-live situation where I'm not even sure you'd be able to get through this palace with just 2 lives. With 2 fairy cast.
Yeah, we need to throw the study guide at Ellendar here. This is definitely come back down, get the 50-50 jar refill, and yep. He's we'll have a word with Ellendar afterwards, after this race.
I like it. You may or may not have seen before the race in the Z2R Discord, but Ellendar was giving us some helpful information about the logic of DM in these 4 ways, that the logic doesn't necessarily account for these 4 ways as much as you think it would. So
I've noticed some weirdness in Death Mountain from time to time, and I'm glad we're figuring out the bugs and correcting this stuff for future iterations.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%.
All right, so I think we're on our final life again here. He took a death right after that last fairy attempt through a door, and then this is, I think, the last life, I think. I could be wrong. He might have one more in reserve, but this also could be the last life.
Yeah, we might have to ask him about taking the death early in this fight rather than getting a second chance.
Yeah, because you at least give yourself another chance to fight Barba in case you mess it up. Because you beat Barba, you can't get through the door. Just jump in the lava right here, and then you're on your final life. Cast the fairy spell, place the gem, and GO.
Well, it looks like Dr. J is on the right track now to get the fairy spell. He's crossing the river now, so.
Yeah, funny enough, we made the comment about the connection on Maze Island, that cave that goes to DM. It almost looked like it didn't go anywhere. It looked like it went to a segmented section of DM that led nowhere, because Dr. J checked those caves and then he was out of there. I think Dr. J's style would have been to look around DM a little bit more, possibly for Hammer Cave or something else. But seeing as he dipped out of there as he is now, he probably was blocked.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, Ellendar! That jump and the fire, he's giving me a heart attack.
I mean, this is the fairy spell for Dr. J right now. I mean, he's probably going to go back and pick up downstab, but he only needs to fairy in P1 at this point. So,
Yeah.
that is a brutal game over for Ellendar, because I think at this point Dr. J is possibly in the driver's seat here if he goes back to P1.
Yeah, that's exactly what's going to happen here. These low resources, one cast a fairy per life. At least there's 4 lives, but it's just barely enough to reach Barba. But I'm not agreeing with that forced death before Barba, because I really feel like we should just try to give 2 attempts on Barba.
Yeah,
as we've seen,
I agree with that.
Yeah, I was gonna say, as we've seen twice now, where he takes the death. Like the first time was on Barba, and again, I'm not sure if he got hit by fire or if he just dipped into the lava on purpose. And then the second one, that second game over, he took the death forcefully on purpose before reaching the room. And it's coming back. It's coming back to haunt him. And it's sitting in the back of, it's sitting in the back of his mind, being like, oh my God, 2 deaths on this thing. I just got to kill this stupid dragon, and GP is right next door.
Mm-hmm. So it looks like Fairy is 46 at Magic 5. So I don't think there was much of a difference between Magic 4 and Magic 5.
Yeah, okay. The thing is, if you can kill Barba, you're going to get the payout. I don't remember how much Guma dropped for Dr. J. I didn't even see the kill and him get through the door, so I completely missed all that. Because Guma can also be... Guma is going to be 3, 5, 7, or 1,000 in this flag set, same as Barba. So if there's a big payout on Barba, then that's going to help Ellendar. But Dr. J has got 5, 5, 6 right now.
Yeah, and the other thing I forgot to mention as far as this Palace 6 goes is it's not just the key locks here. It's the fact that we have this fairy required room.
Yeah.
Right before the key lock, so.
Yeah, Ellendar took his... I don't even hope... Well, let me look at this real fast. Yeah, so Dr. J went up against Big Picket Patrick, and I'll be honest, apologies to both Dr. J and Patrick. I'm not recalling that race at the moment. So what's fresh in my mind is the Ellendar J Copa race from the upper bracket just a few nights ago, and Ellendar took a loss. It was unfortunate. He was playing like a monster and then ended up taking a loss. But yeah, here, oh man. He's getting beat up by some seeds lately. That's what this Max Rando tournament is doing to Ellendar.
Well, the good thing for Ellendar is it looks like Dr. J was having a little bit of trouble of finding P1 again, but it looks like we're going to have a pretty tight GP entry if this holds up.
Yeah, and looks like Ellendar also did not take a forced death just to put himself on his final life here. He's going to give 2 attempts to Barba. If he dies on this next one, he won't game over. I mean, if he dies on this one here, he won't game over.
Yeah. Yeah, some of these later bosses, when you're on lower attack levels, can just be absolutely painful to fight. And that's what it looks like that we're seeing here with Attack 3 Barba.
This is going to be great. I really hope Ellendar gets this down here because, I mean, again, we're just going to have these almost side-by-side entries in the GP, and this is going to be phenomenal. But this is taking a long time to shave some life off of Barba. This is going to be another, like, 2 minutes, maybe? He's getting, like, 3 hits a cycle here.
I think Dr. J went the wrong way in P1 because I believe it was up that first elevator where he defeated Horsehead, because I saw he just went through a locked door. So certainly know that wasn't the way. at the horse
Yeah.
head.
He's also in his dead end room as well here, but he's going to grab this key, which is going to, well, honestly, you probably should have saved the key until after placing the gem because you never know if you need that key in GP.
Mm-hmm.
Ellendar getting the workout here. Less than half health left on Barba. Or maybe Dr. J is just kind of looking for the item. Maybe that's a thing he's looking for here.
Yeah, it makes sense. I'm not going to say anything about this fight. So I'm just not saying anything.
I'll take the blame. Let's go, Ellendar. 2 more bars of health, buddy. Oh, last bar. He can even accidentally push through Barba's hitbox and fall into the lava on the kill because he will not game over here.
Yeah.
And it just so happens that when you do that on Barba, Barba is actually still dead at the end of it. But you don't get the experience for the kill. You get the experience. You do get the drop, though. Oh, Barba trolling on the far pit 2 times in a row here. All right, 17 minutes later, we have a Barba kill. Takes that death, the refill magic. That's the play right there. That's the play. We've got magic refilled. Make sure you're on fairy. You don't accidentally cast something else. And through the door would go. Dr. J will hopefully be finding his gem pedestal soon in P1 here. Or again, I literally just said it, that he could be looking for the item as well.
But as we were saying before, here's the thing. We may not be done here yet. If we come across a hard required upstab room or T-Bird is required, so stay tuned.
Do not tease me with a good time.
Hey, you were the one who brought it up before. So.
I know. As much time as Ellendar has spent in P6, see, he skipped the item in 1, and now he's not skipping the item in 6. Oh, here we go. Okay, no, he's coming back. He's coming back. Do we know what's in 6? Wait, I think we might know what's in 6.
I don't know if we know what's in 6. We know what's in 4. Is the ending key. Oh, Dr. J's found the item in P1, which is a heart container.
Okay, that could be pretty useful in GP.
Oh, wait, no, Ellendar has seen the item in 6. It's the P bag or whatever. He already got the item.
Oh, that's right. Oh, so the funny thing is, does he have it marked off on his tracker? He doesn't. So maybe he just forgot about it, or maybe he remembered about it the minute he up at 8, and he just came in to get some levels from the dripper. We have to play Mind Reader here in the commentary booth, so we don't really know. $150 a pop though is finally one shot. Before they were 2 hits.
Yeah, I'm guessing he might be trying to, because I believe 1190's Magic 5, so maybe he's trying to see if he can get a second cast of Fairy with Magic 5 before he ends GP.
Yeah, because there could be some tough rooms that you just want to Fairy through. There doesn't have to be any Fairy blocks in GP, but GP itself can be pretty tough, just the rooms that you have to push through. And so sometimes Fairy just completely trivializes those rooms.
All right, and Dr. J has placed the gem down in P1, and so we are tied up in gems now.
Oh, he wants the life level. Okay.
Yeah, he picked up, I believe, an attack level in P1 as well when he was in there, so he's at, I believe, 667 or 657. Yeah, 657, so GP is right there, and I believe that was GP right there.
Yes, it was. They saw it first before they saw either 1 or 6. Maybe Dr. J doesn't want to gamble. Maybe he's gonna go look for the way to the east. And if that's the case, that's exactly what Ellendar needs here. We know it's going to be the raft, though, and the raft is going to be what? Hammer Cave or P5. Did we get the item out of P5?
I don't believe we did.
All right, but yeah, we got a 50-50. There could be a hammer in one of those two areas as well that then opens up Spec Rock. Okay, so this is going to be one more kill for Ellendar. We'll see if he's out of here. This 1320 is going to be a magic level.
Okay, it's 1320 is the magic.
No,
he's continuing on, it looks like.
Oh, okay. The moment we say something, and then Ellendar does another 10, 15 seconds of that, and then he's out.
It's the reverse psychology of Z2R right here.
Yeah, he's like, I'm going to mess with him on commentary. Watch.
All right, so 3927. Ellendar is the first inside of GP.
Sub 40 GP entry hype. All right, so I was just waiting to see Thunderbird at the bottom of the first elevator.
You know, I did a similar situation. I commentated a Dr. J Max Rando race last year with a similar situation where, you had things early, but you could gamble on going into GP without the Thunder spell. And he went inside and immediately saw T-Bird. So I'm wondering if that's just on the back of his mind now. It's just, I need to go for Thunder right now.
Yeah, you can get hit with some, things that catch you in races. They can definitely sit in the back of your mind, like PTSD and like, man, I lost all these races because I gambled on this or that. And now you never gamble on it again.
I think this is a good sign for Ellendar though, because we do see a branch, so.
Oh, 1-ups in the drop pool. I missed that earlier on.
Yeah, that'll be helpful.
That would have been helpful in that P6. I don't know. I guess there were no small enemies really on the way there.
Thunder is on the east somewhere. We haven't seen the east, so we're not entirely sure where Thunder is, but we do know it's on the east since we've seen all 4 spells on the west.
Yeah, and we have all the spells. Yeah, we have all the spells from the west, isn't it? We have nothing from the east.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah.
Because spell is in Nito, but we don't have the medicine as in the east, and we started with Reflect.
Okay, yeah, that's right. Well, this is fun here. Ellendar's room. No shield, no life, nothing to block this with other than our shield.
Yeah, certainly could. Not that it would really help much, but it does have the Reflect spell to deflect some of the fire. But yeah, that's not going to be that helpful with these orange chickens.
Yeah, if you can't get through here, this is definitely going to be a let's go left at that junction next time.
Mm-hmm. And the thing about these orange chickens too is that these are some of the enemies that are very helpful to have the upstab with. You can line it up to where the orange chicken just jumps right on top of your upstab, and it's a really nice and satisfying and simple way to be able to handle those enemies. So having it without upstab into GP can certainly be a little more tricky for enemies like those.
Yes, absolutely. Wish we had the jump spell here though. That jump spell is might. We'll see if there's any more of these types of waffles throughout this GP. That could be a pattern or a theme that we see as these packed waffles. That no upstab, no jump. Pretty sure you just talked about this, but it's good luck, Ellendar. That's all I have to say. And he doesn't have that 1 extra heart that Dr. J has found, so he is down just a little bit of health.
Yeah, and attack 4 as opposed to attack 6 too. Oh, we do see a 1-up,
Wow.
so what that means is there isn't a branch anymore. So this could be a little dicey here for anyone that's looking for T-Bird.
So Dr. J's in Hammer Cave. This could be our what we assume is a raft. Well, I guess we don't assume anymore. It definitely has to be a raft that takes us east, but we just don't know where that is yet. I don't know if we saw it just yet on Dr. J's side.
It could be in P5 though.
Yeah, this could be something. This doesn't have to be something though. But if Dr. J is gonna if Ellendar is gonna spend time trying to get through this what seems to be pretty rough room right that he's just walked into, this is going to be Dr. J's. This is exactly what he needs.
I'm assuming the reptile is on this side of the east, or sorry, this side of DM2, because I don't think we've seen it at this point.
Oh boy.
And it is the raft. Okay, Royale, it's on the other side. Appreciate it.
We're throwing beams at the little fire piranha chomper rope there. And now we're slowly trying to get in here. I mean, this is the way to do it.
Okay, Dr. J has seen the reptile. Okay, that's good to know.
Okay. I was gonna say he should probably try to go high here. It's. I think both options are tough, but I think staying on the ground, you have to deal with more beams.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see there's a high, low, high, low, high, low, and it's just like, man, you're not gonna. That's terrible.
Yeah, so I think if you stay high too, you would be able to maybe have a better chance of getting a hit from this bottom chicken when he jumps up.
You know, the thing is, Ellendar might not be fully comfortable with you got to kind of do like a kind of a spin move as you jump, because he doesn't have upstep. So it's kind of, you got to like jump and attack at your peak of the jump so you can break the blocks above you. There's kind of it can be a little tricky. I don't know 100% if he knows exactly how to do that. By all means, though, that room is not simple with 3 hearts, life 6. Looks like he's taken 3 beams and it's a death. And there's a lot of beams coming his way. If those were red or blue, well, I guess they would shoot less beams, but they would be harder to kill. So I don't know what I'd rather have if I'm going to stay on the floor and try to get through that room.
So Dr. J is giving us our first look at the east here. So we will see if he comes across the town for Thunder. The only thing that could really lock us out of anything is if the new Kasuto forest tile was potentially hiding a town, but that is not guaranteed to be hiding a town. We got Jump Town from New Kasuto, speaking of it. 5 magic containers. And that's the thing, we haven't found a magic container either this seed.
Yeah, this oddly enough, for as much stuff as they had access to, we're still pretty limited resources. I mean, there doesn't have to be any other hearts. We do know there's at least one because Dr. J picked it up, but there doesn't have to be any more than that. But there definitely has to be 4 other magic containers out there somewhere. So they don't seem to be on the west, unless they're in what we assume is a hammer blocked pillar P-bag cave for one of those.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Jump is definitely a spell right now that Ellendar would love to have in this room.
Absolutely. I'm really glad that he's not spending too many lives getting that orange bird dead on the right-hand side of the elevator as he walks in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right, so we see another town here. So 2 pretty quick towns here in the east. Starunia, is it Thunder? Nope, it's Life.
We're also getting upstab as well, I imagine.
Yeah, that'll be helpful as well.
Yeah, so here we go. Oh, Ellendar. Yeah, he hasn't picked up. See, here's the thing maybe. Here's maybe the thing we do. We go find some Bogos and we farm up, I don't know, a whole bunch of lives, and then you can try to push through here.
Mm-hmm.
This is really rough. Yeah, Ellendar's been having some here, at least here in the brackets. His first race was a rough GP. This one is a rough GP, given the stuff that we currently have. We'll see where he wants to go from here, though, because, I mean, again, he doesn't have the item out of 1. He doesn't have the item out of 5. He knows where Death Mountain is. We know that that's the place, so hopefully he just goes back to Death Mountain here. But I don't remember where Hammer Cave was, so he's probably going to do a little looking.
It's on the eastern side of the caldera.
Okay.
And the raft tiles on the western side of the caldera of Death Mountain.
Yeah, at least he's making this play over the 5, though, or something like that. But Dr. J spent that time in 1 out of logic, unable to place the gem, wasted a little bit of time because of that, had to double dip 1. He spent a little bit of time in P5, but was able to clear it. He found the key somewhere. Again, I didn't see where he got that. Just must have been sitting around in one of the rooms, and was able to place that. Then he had to go. He got the boots off of Maze Island as well. Went over to Raru, that was boots locked completely on the southwest section of the Western Continent, and then picked up the fairy spell. Got back into 1. Checked for the item. That's where the heart was, right? It was in 1.
Yeah, the heart was in 1.
Okay, and yeah.
So Dr. J just found Uru, which had the shield spell, decided not to pick it up. So now we know that old Kasudo has Thunder.
Interesting, not picking up shield. We've seen what this GP has in store, and if he doesn't find any other hearts, well, I mean, he's going to have jump. So those waffle rooms, if he can do those quantum leap moves, did he not pick up jump?
He picked up jump and the life spell.
Okay, good. Ellendar headed over to the eastern side of this caldera. Hopefully we'll find Hammer Cave soon enough. Thankfully, he's digging this first. Again, I don't, he could have done 5, which would have been terrible. I guess this is technically just the better play, and so make this play before 5.
Yeah, I would much rather do Hammer Cave than P5. You just never know how long P5 is going to take you. At least with DM, as long as it does take to get to Hammer Cave, at least it feels a little more organized than what P5 could potentially have.
Yeah. And if P5 looks anything like P6 with all the doors in it, good God, we might be taking game overs in there. And I don't know we don't think fairies come down, right? 5, we still think it was 40 something, so still only 1 cast of it.
Yeah, 46 on Magic 5.
Oh, is that the medicine for Dr. J there in Sunken?
Yeah, that is the medicine, so...
Okay.
That could be where one of our magic containers are.
Hopefully it's where the hammer is, and we do have an old Kasudo behind a forest tile today. We could only be so lucky.
Here is old Katsuda, though.
Come on, game. Where's our plan, though?
We do need the plan, though.
So how much was that Thunder to cast?
I did not see.
If it's anything over 64, we cannot cast it. We'll have to watch.
It does have Magic 6, but yeah, it might not be able to cast it.
I mean, we've seen Thunder stay into the 80s at Magic 7, so fingers crossed. Then again, there's so many things left here. Oh, no magic container. Okay. Maybe all of our magic containers are hiding in palaces today. I don't know.
Could be hammer locked.
That too, yeah. Maybe Spec Rock and even the cave on the west. That would be, man. There's still possibility for a good time here.
I'm sure good old Granny is doing her usual, hiding a magic container behind the magic containers.
Magic locked magic. Yeah, so this is I mean, we're making these runners work for this win. You know, whoever's going to win this is going to deserve to move on here in the lower bracket.
There's a magic container. 69 for Thunder, so
Looked
has to
like
have this for Thunder.
looked like 1 bar of health I think gets refilled by life if I'm seeing that correctly.
Yeah, it looks like it. That's not great.
No, it's not.
Oh, there is the new the forest tile. Hiding something.
Yeah, I guess we're missing. Oh, I was just about to say we're missing Risen, but here it is. So yeah, nothing behind our forest tile today.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Looks like Dr. J wants the next level.
There are keys in the drop pool as well as 1-ups. Wow, they must be really, really spread apart.
I saw Dr. J pick up a key from the drop pool in one of the encounters.
Okay, that makes sense to where he probably got the one to open up the door behind Guma then.
There's the hammer.
Oh, yeah, this is starting to open up for Dr. J now. Hammer is going to be giving him 2 more locations if he wants it. We might see him look in those places, but he seems to be back to start now, so maybe not. Maybe he's just going to jump into GP at this point. Or not.
Yeah, I think Dr. J has everything for GP at this point. You can cast Thunder, up stab, down stab. I'd feel pretty good about this. And I think he even has some keys too, so.
Okay, he was just taking the water there. Okay, Ellendar to the east needs to find stuff. Luckily, jump is right here for him.
Guma has a 1-up.
Well, thankfully, we did not dig 5.
That would probably be if Ellendar had chosen to go into P5 first and then saw that would be the ultimate heartbreak right there.
Yeah, I agree.
Another magic container that was hammerlocked.
All right, Dr. J is looking pretty well equipped for this GP. We have no idea what's beyond, say, the first 5, maybe 6 rooms. We know it's linear, other than the fake junction. It's linear up to that waffle room that we have not seen past just yet. But I'm going to say he's going to Death Mountain to check Spec Rock.
Yeah, it looks like it.
So this is what Ellendar needs. Ellendar also probably going to be picking up the life spell here, but will be... Well, I mean, to be fair, you might find a spot where you can need 1 extra heart container that could come in handy. Maybe. Things in GP hit pretty hard, though, so I doubt it.
Yeah.
We'll see if Ellendar sticks around for maybe the shield spell. Because, man, would that come in handy in this GP.
That's the 7th magic container, so 2 of them are hammerlocked.
Yeah, Dr. J giving the nod of approval there. He's happy with his digs here. Our magic was a little buried today, but Dr. J has found it. He's been digging it out. And funny enough, Dr. J tends to get himself set further behind some of the runners that he's been up against because of his thoroughness. Whereas here, the low resource dig into this GP was really unrewarding, and Ellendar spent a lot of time in there so far, whereas Dr. J was able to clear out all the stuff, and now he's very, very well equipped for GP.
Yeah, sometimes if you play the long game, it can certainly make you. It can certainly pay off. It's all about that gamble. You want to play the short game, and but hey, sometimes the short game pays off too, because it could just be a few rooms in the GP.
Yeah, I mean, I don't blame Ellendar's play whatsoever. Go in there, see what it's like, and really, if it's too difficult, then you really have no choice. Then you got to leave and you got to look for something because you need a way to get through there.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see how Dr. J handles this GP here. I mean, it could be this terrible linear dig that I don't know, that even the resources Dr. J has really is going to make this still pretty tough. Okay, there's our one up. See, this is the place to farm, it seems like, right here at the Boggle Boggos. I mean, you don't want to be doing that, though, just to be fair. Like, we can sit here and be like, well, neither one of them have made much progress in the GP. You should just farm, forehead. But when you're playing you're in the race, you don't really want to be farming for things like this.
I would consider it on a 2-life seed, but probably not for a 4-life seed. I would definitely do it for a 2-life seed as far as farming 1-ups.
Okay, so we're going to get a shield pickup here for Ellendar. Because he knows that there is some nonsense in here, so he's going to have that.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only thing that might trip up Dr. J is just the fact that he doesn't know kind of what awaits him here. So he's going to see these rooms for the first time. Might take a few extra deaths because he's just not used to this route just yet. And Ellendar already knows what awaits him in these rooms, so he'll probably just be able to push through it nice and quick. Although he's still hanging out on the east, looking for maybe he's looking for Thunder. He's just going to go do the full clear.
Yeah, you definitely want to pick up Thunder if you're going to the east.
I guess at this point, if we put ourselves in Ellendar's shoes, this race is not over. And so he's been in GP and he's thinking, okay, well, two things here. Maybe Dr. J's been ahead of me and seen a Thunderbird, and that's the reason this isn't over. Maybe it's an upstab block, something along those lines. And
yeah, because keep in mind, Ellendar did game over twice, so he definitely feels behind at this point.
Yeah, and his P6 was pretty... There were also 2 game overs in there.
Yeah. Yeah, with upstab, Dr. J is going to be able to skip these orange chickens here.
You underestimate the thoroughness of Dr. J.
Oh, that's the red jar 50-50 there.
Okay, it looks like two bars at least. I might have been wrong on that 1 bar. Oh, Ellendar found his... Oh, he's got Thunder, but he can't cast it. And he's back in the west, so he doesn't have a hammer. He's got nothing.
Oh, that's not good, because we saw that one of that was Boots locked on the east and in Risen Peaback Cave. So, and here's T-Bird for Dr. J.
There's a left upstairs from this elevator where Dr. J is, but doesn't have to go anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Then again, if this path behind Thunderbird doesn't lead to Darklink, and it's again somewhat of a dig, Dr. J might get sucked down in this path, whereas Ellendar's not going to have the option to go through Thunderbird at this point with his magic amount.
We got attack 6, which is pretty comfortable for a T-Bird fight, I would say. Nailed it first try.
All right, what awaits us behind T-Bird? It is an elevator up. Does it keep going, or is this going to be our Darklink? Oh. I need to know what Ellendar needs to get back to this room and through that waffle room and see what is left of that GP item room, community room. All right, so he's about to head into the waffle room now. The thing is, though, that if Dr. J game overs on this path and doesn't see where it leads, he might just come back and then take the left. Oh! Dr. J's going to walk it back. Okay, Ellendar needs to get through here, and nice double tink there. I don't know if the GP item room is in the next room or not. If it's not, it's one more. And he will absolutely be going to the left then.
Yeah, that's big for Ellendar.
Yeah, especially with Dr. J walking it back. He's already taken a death, and he's down to 1 bar at this point. So he's a little low on resources. I don't think Ellendar's taken a death just yet, but Dr. J did pick up an extra life as he walked in. So he was up to 4 in reserve. Oh, he's down to his final life, though.
And here's T-Bird, so Ellendar's going to take the left right here.
Ellendar's concerned. He's like, no. But we know it ain't T-Bird tonight. Oh, also gets the 1-up off the Mew.
And picks up Magic 7 as well.
Oh, Dr. J. Oh, with the level. I see. Okay. Ellendar with the no shield cast until it's too late. I've scolded him in past. Oh, wait. Oh, we're sorry. We are a little jumpy on the commentary side of things. Are we still in sync with everyone?
I can switch over.
Ellendar was in this room. He's about to head up the elevator now. Kill a Bago now head up the elevator. Dr. J is kind of buffering. We have an upstab block. Let us know, chat, if we're a little behind or something's going on. Looks like Dr. J's buffering on my side. A little bit. Ellendar is good, though. I haven't seen any buffering on Ellendar's side. But we continue here. This is going to be an elevator down. I don't think Darklink is going to be just yet, unless this is a super short GP, but I don't think we can be that short. Okay, we've got some choices here. Okay, I'm going to refresh my page. I just saw King Bot. Okay, all right, so they're in the same room, essentially, on my side here. Ellendar up an elevator. There's a left. Uh-oh. Got to come back down. They're just high-fiving in this elevator. Am I in sync with everyone as we watch? Oh, we have a glove-blocked elevator here. If we can get through this room, kind of tricky. We need to put shields up, Ellendar. Oh, we're going to ferry. Okay, that's a play as well. But with the glove-locked elevator, we're going to have to go all the way right. Hopefully, we don't get hit here. No bubble, no King Bot, no nothing. Dr. J's going to take the left, though. Oh, they lead to the same room. Dr. J's on the right side of the room where Ellendar just saw.
Wow. And there's Darklink for Ellendar.
Oh, wow. Oh, my God. Well, I don't think Ellendar's on his last life. He's got 2 hits. He's shielded as well, so he's probably got 3 hits now on Darklink. Oh, that's a game over for Dr. J. Three hits left. Oh, we're way ahead. I'm so sorry. Oh, this is completely jumping around the commentary side of things. I'm very sorry.
I can refresh that.
I'm sorry, I was on the wrong computer talking. We do see the finish on Ellendar's side, official race room time of 67 minutes, 17 seconds, and Ellendar is in the waiting room.
And joining us now is Ellendar. GG, Ellendar.
That might have been the worst I've ever played a seed.
I mean,
It was bad. You can't pretend it wasn't bad.
it wasn't, I didn't say this in your last race, but you were playing like a monster in your last race. And if we're going to compare last race's performance to this race's performance, I'm going to say the other one was like way better.
To be fair, I did take 2 deaths this seed to rogue hitboxes wrapping around the screen.
I must have missed that.
There was on the second time to Barba, I got the bug where a slash hits you on the first pixel. I don't think it's sub-pixel precise, but if a sword stabbing enemy is stabbing on the very first frame that it enters the screen, it can screw up, and it stuck me in the blocking animation over a lava pit, and I fell straight down. It's hilarious.
Okay, so I'm going to apologize because we were commentating on that. We thought you just took the death to refill your magic before getting to Barba that time.
The first time I got to Barba, I took a death to refill my magic because I knew I needed to refill magic, and I thought it would be enough to live through a hit if I took the death first rather than trying to go through it afterwards. Turns out that's not the case, so slightly embarrassing. The second time I went to Barba, I lost one of my lives to that bug, like 2 rooms before Barba. If you probably had Dr. J's audio on, but if you have the audio on, you could hear just the blocking sound continuously playing, like, and it just makes you fall straight down. It's bug and vanilla.
Yeah,
pretty rare one. And then I got killed. I got hit. I didn't get killed. Maybe I got killed. I get hit by that same bug one of the times in GP, going across a bridge. It's a pretty rare bug, so to have seen it twice in the same seed is unusual. But that room in GP, I'm sure a better player would have found a way to clear it, and I just couldn't. And I'm like, forget it. I knew the way east was going to have to be through Death Mountain, and I didn't want to do it. But at that point, I was like, I'm not going to clear this room. Just keeping going through. Like, there's probably a way to do it. It's so much RNG with both birds hitting high and low at the same time, and you just being screwed.
Yeah, that was a very rough room, even without upstab.
And it turns out you needed upstab or jump anyway, so it was a good thing that I left. I figured if I was going to go east, I was going to get upstab and jump and thunder while I was there.
So I just want to recap what happened in GP there at the very end. Dr. J walked in before you did here. He was well equipped. I don't know if you've tuned into the stream or not. He's got
Dr. J is a very thorough player. I suspected I was in big trouble because Dr. J was going to, like, at the very least farm those blue iron knuckles or like go to the east looking for hearts. Like, Dr. J is definitely the kind of player where when he gets into GP, he's going to be very, very strong.
Yeah. So he found a heart in one. That's the only extra heart that we saw. But there were a few outstanding locations. He didn't go into any other palaces that were on the east or anything, even though you saw the hint. I think you both might have seen the hint for Magic Key in P4. But he did enter in first ahead of your final reentry. And crazy enough, there was a junction right before. So you went down an elevator into Darkling's room, and the room before that, there was a junction that went up and left. It went up into a shaft, into a left. He took that left, and you went right. No. Well, here's the thing. That left led to the other side of the same elevator room that you took down first.
Oh, man.
And then Dr. J walked it back because there was another elevator. He walked it back and went down. Or what happened? He took a death somewhere. Maybe he took a death
right in the room. Really close at the end there.
Yes, it was very close. But then he game overed. He game overed, and now he's got sent back, and now he's just down a different path. He's seeing the glove-blocked elevator currently, but it was very, very, very close right there. Unfortunately, we had a little stream issue. I just kind of fell apart there right at the end, so I don't know how much was picked up, and apparently commentary was a little ahead of what people were watching. So apologies on that, but oh my God, we might have to grab the VODs and put these side by side because that was just crazy how it all came together there at the end. And the fact he had Thunder, and of course he's got 7 magic containers, so he was through Thunderbird, dead-ended in about 3 or 4 rooms. He walks it back, and that's why he had only 1 life left on that final path, and he took the death and the game over. And now he's just walking the Darkling's room right now.
I consider it a mistake. I didn't check how much Thunder cost when I got it. I should have checked, because I didn't find any of the items on the East. I should have at least tried to check for the easy ones, looking for a magic container. And that ends up being very, very good for me, but I still think that was a mistake. I think knowing that it's only 1 more magic container and there's several probably very easy to find items in the West, since I have in the East rather, since I have the boots and I have dash spell and everything, I really should have gone and looked for a container.
So I just want to report that we are getting a very, very close-up of a middle finger from Dr. J. He just took a game over to Darklink. Very unhappy about that.
Not again.
Yeah.
These tournaments. Oh. I got to Darklink and I'm like, thank God I've got shield spell and a couple lives left. We're not going to lose to this.
So on the East, Dr. J, of course, having his 7 magic containers, he only got 1 from the East. We didn't see the Nukasudo was going to be 5 to get into the basement. He saw it at 4, so no spell, and only having 4 containers, we never saw what was in there. We did Desert Tile was nothing. Both caves, one of the caves I think was the medicine, the other cave was the hammer, and Water Tile was a magic container. However, the hammer unlocked the Pillar P-Bag cave on the west, which was another magic container, and we saw Dr. J go to Speck Rock as well to get his 7th magic container. So that's where he was stocked up on that.
Wow. I feel like I'm very lucky to have won this seed. Especially with how, like, in theory, right? Like, I guess it is true that you had to go East. So like at first I was like, oh man, this is just going to be a jet seed. But I wanted to get some experience, and I just took so many game overs in 6 and wasn't really having good luck farming the blue iron knuckles. And I didn't want to go into GP too low on levels. And man, I want to say this could have been a jet seed. I don't think it would have been a jet seed with the requirements to go East through Death Mountain. But definitely, I suspect both of our commentators could have finished this about 30 minutes faster.
I won't say that. I think you two did a really great job today. I think you could beat me in my good old rusty shape, Ellendar. You two have been putting on some really good close tight races throughout this tournament. So I wouldn't downplay yourself at all.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of that, one thing chat pointed out as well that Dr. J actually saw Nuburu for the shield spell, did not grab it, whereas you did, and you obviously knew that there was some danger in this palace, and so getting that shield spell probably helped you stay alive. Although we did see a few late casts of a shield in some rooms.
Yeah, I picked up life spell too. I do not like picking up life or shield if I already have the other. Obviously not counting if life is like 1 bar, it's not a real spell. But I knew there was so much pain in that GP that I'm like, I've got to get, at least these safeties that are here. And like, as soon as you have jump and upstab, right? That room is a complete joke.
Yeah.
But yeah, I knew I wanted to get jump, upstab, and thunder if I was going to go East. I did not want to come back. My plan, if Thunderbird ended up being required, if that left would have been a dead end right away or something, was just to go back into 6 and grind for Magic 6.
Still 69 at Magic 6. Don't know what it is as Magic 7. Dr. J has Magic 7, but I haven't gotten a look at the Thunder cost.
Yeah, man, that would have been really disappointing if Thunderbird were required. I would have been absolutely toast this seed.
I hear you.
It's a common thing going around.
Yeah, so Dr. J's digging back to Darklink here. I don't...
This stupid Kingbot room.
He's going left, though, so it must lead around to the same spot-ish.
I knew that. I knew, like, I knew, I knew, there's a possibility there could have been a Kingbot there, and I was trying to, like, bait him out, and I still got hit by it.
Okay, I see the path now. Dr. J, so the left at the first junction does lead to this duplicate room where if you go left, it's the glove blocked elevator that takes you down into Darklink. So it was not, I don't know if your route was longer or the same. I think it was longer.
I think so. I don't think it's a ton longer, but it's at least a couple rooms. Yeah.
Yeah, probably 1 or 2 rooms longer. But he doesn't seem to recognize the loop because he's heading back. Okay, so never mind. He doesn't recognize that room, but he is making his way back to the glove-locked elevator here, so he does know his way back.
Yeah, I sort of just took standard routing through this whole. Well, once I, realized I couldn't do Thunderbird, I'm like, well, I'm gonna go left, right? I'm not gonna. Okay, Thunder would have been castable at Magic 7. Yeah, I was like, well, I'm going to check everything I can before I grind out Magic to be able to cast Thunder. And words are hard. I just sort of took standard routing. I'd taken all the elevators, don't take lefts, and it sort of led right to where it needed to be. This elevator room, I think... I didn't go right here. I don't remember what
you did. You did go right. You flew through with the ferry.
To reset the ferry. Yeah.
But that was a duplicate. That's the duplicate elevator that led down with the blocks, the 2 stacked blocks.
Yeah. I wanted to check the elevator first. I didn't know if it was a duplicate room or not, but I absolutely want to check any elevator I see before I do anything else. So.
Dr. J is on his final life. Almost got killed by that bluebird headed down in here, but looks like he's going to be okay. 1 more hit on Darklink, and GG to Dr. J, finishing with an official time of 80 minutes, 41 seconds. And we'll see if he wants to do an interview here. This, again, is the lower bracket. This both of our runners 0-1, so Ellendar will not be eliminated. Dr. J, unfortunately, will be eliminated, but we'll see if he... Okay, Dr. J is going to pass on the interview, probably a little unhappy with that extra game over on Darklink there about 5 minutes ago or so. But yeah, Ellendar, you get to move on here. Do we see any idea who your opponent may be?
I do know who my next opponent is. I don't want to spoil my...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, my opponent is the loser of the previous race, which I'm not going to spoil the result of, but I don't feel confident. Let me put it that way.
It was. It may have been spoiled if you were here at the beginning of the race, but if you tuned in after that, it was not spoiled. Definitely worth watching the previous race as well. Hopefully the thumbnails on the VODs are not spoilering that. But yeah, I mean, I don't have, that was pretty much it. Just kind of waiting for Dr. J to finish here, see if you want to do an interview. I think we've pretty much covered the entire seed from your perspective. Animus, is there anything we missed?
I think that about covers it. Once again, GG's and congratulations to both of our runners. Congratulations to Ellendar for moving on. And congratulations for Dr. J for a successful Zelda 2 Rando tournament run. I believe we have a Max Rando race tomorrow at 9 Eastern, which is Winners Bracket Round 2 Trails versus Paratroopa. So that will certainly be a great race as well. And I'm looking forward to how the rest of this Zelda 2 Max Rando tournament cruises on.
Agreed. Ellendar, any final thoughts on the seed or tournament in particular?
Nope. Just GG's again to Dr. J, and I guess good luck to myself in the next round, man. I'm going to need it.
All right. I think we're clear. Animus, feel free to take us out.
All right.